We have given MyMusic members the opportunity to submit entries into our contest to choose, and we chose the 5 best questions submitted by your fans.
All right.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. The first question comes from Anne in Atlanta, Georgia. And she says, when you're on stage, do you feel what you're playing or singing from the top of your head to the tips of your toes? Because she feels that that's exactly what you're doing. The audience feels that you guys are just overcome by the music. And P.S., you're amazing. From Anne.
Well, thank you, Anne.
Is it Anne, you said?
Anne from Atlanta, Georgia.
Anne from Atlanta. Thank you. That's a very good question.
I do personally. I mean, I think that there's very rarely a moment on stage that I'm not completely invested in the song, in the moment, and performing. It goes back to what we said. We all have fun doing what we do. We're not. We live for that time on stage. It's not a burden. I know that there are some artists out there that are kind of over it sometimes, and that we never are. So.
One element about that is, and it's a really, really good question because, being in this band, and any band for that matter, you should understand that when you're playing in front of an audience, there's probably a lot of people in the audience that have never seen you before, maybe. Mm-hmm. And you have to go, those songs that you might have played like 1,000 times, you have to remember there's a lot of people in the audience, they may be seeing it for the first time, so you really want to convey that memory of when you wrote the song and try to keep that in mind each time you play it and try to make it different each time that you do each individual set in each individual city, country, and what have you. You want to make sure that excitement and that really genuine honesty of where the song came from always is conveyed every night. It can be hard to do that sometimes, but you have to remember that they're the boss, and they're the ones that are important. And man, the audience doesn't care if you had a bad day. They paid the ticket, and for us, we understand that, and we want to continue excelling in making the performances grow each time people see us, and see the audience get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, you're succeeding because
we're trying.
That's what they're feeling. All right, our next question is from Logan Singleton. He's in Cincinnati, Ohio. His question is, with the ever-changing style of music, is it more important for you guys to stay true to your style, or are you tempted to alter the sound of new songs?
I think we always try to grow as musicians, and the records, like we said earlier, change. They're always something different, but we've got Brent's voice is always going to sound like Brent's voice, so the songs are always going to convey that way. And we'll try new things. Why not? That's what music's about. But I don't think it'll ever change. It's not like we're going to go out and do a Jazz Odyssey record or anything like that. It's still rock and roll, and we were very proud of that.
Or will we?
Where's Lou Reed when you need him?
He did Lulu or something with Metallica.
What do you think, Zach?
I think we are always trying to evolve as musicians. I believe that we're a band who never rest on our laurels as far as musicianship goes. I think it's one of those things to where I always say we play in a band full of musicians, not a band full of band guys. I think there's a big difference between that. I think band guys can play what they play in that band, and I love the fact that everyone in our band could go play in a metal band tomorrow and then go play in a blues band or a rock band or a jazz band or a fusion band the next day, because it's about the instrument and not just about just playing what you need to get by.
Yeah. Excellent. Our next question is from Jack, and he's from Altus, Oklahoma. And he says, bullying has been a problem for a very long time. I love that you use music to confront it. What sparked the idea for the inspirational song Bully, and can we expect more powerful agenda-driven songs in the future?
The song was very... We weren't on the fence about the subject. We feel like, the song isn't condoning violence, but it's definitely condoning survival. And really, in all truthfulness, no one has the right to, mentally or physically attack you. If that's happening to you, then you need to attack it back. Whatever the situation is. Because for me personally, I could go on and on about this, and I know we only have a little bit of time, and I want to get to the point. But I just remember when I was a kid, the song Bully is more about everybody. It's not just about kids. People are bullied in their adult life. But I remember my dad taking me into the garage, putting a pair of boxing gloves on me at like 12 years old, and just being like, look, I don't ever want it to come to this, and it's not like you walk around with boxing gloves or stuff like that, but he was teaching me, a father to a son, a defense. And it really, he taught me more the defense than the offense, you know, but he was just like, there is going to be a time, at least once in your life, where you will have to stand up for yourself. And that counts for whether you're a man or a woman. And, you know, there is always going to be people, because of their insecurities and their selfishness, they're going to want to confront you in that way and see what you'll do. Sometimes you should never turn the other cheek, in my opinion. You should stand up for who you are. You always want to use your words and do the best that you can to dissolve the situation and diffuse the bomb that is existing in front of you. But if you have to, sometimes you need to lay someone out and tell them, you're not going to do this to me anymore. And don't ever think that you're going to.
I think the song inspires not only to defend yourself, but maybe stick up for the guy beside you as well.
Yeah, and if you see someone that's weaker than you, stand up for them. Don't just walk away, you know. I know that's, you know, you hear a lot of different people talk about, well, you know, and it's tough, especially in this day and age, because, man, people are sensitive. You know what I mean? They are super, super sensitive.
But maybe that's how we got to this point.
But the thing is that bullying isn't an epidemic. It's been going around, and it's been going on since the dawn of time, probably. You know, ever since ever since the caveman stole the dude's rock. You know, probably. You know, it's something's going on. You know, and it is a bigger picture, and it's impossible to be PC about this subject. And as far as, you know, the other question, you know, that he asked in there, as far as, you know, our subject matters, we talk about things that, in all honesty, we feel like everybody else is afraid to talk about, you know. So we don't shy away from heavy subjects because we live them every day. You know, and it's just part of being here. You got to think about it. Even if you live to be 100 years old, that's not a long time. You know, the Earth's been around for years.
4 billion.
There you go. So it's like you only have a very, very small amount of time. What you do with today is extremely crucial for what you know what tomorrow is going to bring you. So, you know, make an impact while you're here. A good one, though. You know, be productive.
Very insightful. Very insightful for rock stars. You don't expect this sort of authentic insight. I didn't necessarily expect it. So our next question is from Marlene. She's in Buffalo, New York, and she'd like to know, when you have a break from touring, what's the first thing you like to do when you go home?
I like to play with my dog and go golfing. I'm a terrible golfer, but I like to do it. And then just work in my yard.
Best ball was made for bad golfers.
Yeah, that's all right. I love that too, though. I like playing. You can win money playing best ball, though. So it's my favorite.
I think for me, I like spending time with my wife and kid, and then I like to get in the kitchen. First thing I want to do is get in the kitchen, or whether it's the grill or the kitchen. I love to cook, and you don't get to do that out here. So last thing, I want to get home and make a really nice meal that I can enjoy.
I got to think about it.
You know, I go. First thing I do is go to the coffee shop that I enjoy hanging out at, and have, you know, just kind of sit down and take a breath for a second, and then get to the recording studio as fast as I possibly can, and find some work to do, because that's just sort of my personality. It drives my wife nuts. But.
He's pretty much the same way I am about those type of things. I have a hard time shutting off the business side of me, but I've been very, very fortunate, and I have to convey this to the audience out there. I'm extremely lucky that I have the three most patient individuals that I get to work with every single day, because my 4-year-old son has been out here for like the last almost 2 weeks.
No way.
So I'm very fortunate that I've been able to bring him out. And Barry's daughter and his wife were out at the very beginning of this run. We really, really love having our families out, but it's the first time I've been able to do that. So I actually was able to bring him to work with me. So that's been really good. But anytime I can see my son, because he doesn't live with me all the time, you know, of the years, because part of the time he lives in Florida, part of the times he lives in California with me. But my off time really revolves around his schedule and like where he's at, you know, and what he's doing, and if I can be with him. But other than that, the business side of me doesn't shut off ever.
So our final question from the fans, this one comes from Allison Mills in California, Kentucky, and she would like to know, at what moment did you know that Shinedown had made it?
We haven't.
Did you have a defining moment? You
Zach,
don't think you have?
Come on. You got
What Barry said, we haven't. I think making it is such a subpar term for us.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. I think we're always trying to get to that next place. You know, and climb the next mountain. So I don't think I think for us, just that phrase "making it" or "made it" it doesn't count for us. I think we're always pushing so hard to get to that next plateau or that next mountaintop. I think that's the most important thing for us, is to keep moving.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think that in a way we have, because we don't have to go home and work real jobs, and we get to take care of our families. So in that way you can say I think we're all happy about that. And other than that, I mean, it's
more like we're making that happen.
yeah, we're making that happen. You know, it's not, I don't know if this band will ever have made it. I don't think we'll ever be there. That's not our mentality as far as a band goes, which is the beautiful thing about this band.
Mm-hmm. So there's no end in sight for Shinedown.
We're the band that wants to play the desert and have everyone show up. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't like to have a top. We're not good with ceilings.
There's always one more place to go. I mean, The Sound of Madness debuted number 8 on the Billboard Top 100. I think, 51,000 records that week. And then Amaryllis debuted number 4, 106,000 records. Guess what? 4 more spots to go.
Yeah.
You know, and then once you get there, there's plenty of other places to go. You know, we're the band that walks into a situation, and we are so thankful to have, you know, fans to play for. There might be 10,000 people out there at a show, but next time we come, we want there to be 15
or 100
or 100. You know, and it's just there's always somewhere else to go. Like Zach said, there's no ceiling. You know, and so. Yeah, we're 4 of the most fortunate people in the world to be able to do what we love for a living, and have the success that we do have,
and take it very, very seriously.
Yeah, and you know, you don't let that doesn't escape us, but you know, we're the kind of band that we reach a milestone and we take a deep breath and we smile about it, we pat each other on the back and look forward. Back to work.
All right. Well, back to work tonight at the Ottawa Blues Fest. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.